I was just thinking about William and Zachary Zellick, and I was thinking, these people, these friends of theirs who were receiving the Snapchat videos and photos, are they also going to be prosecuted? Because I feel like if you were aware of this crime happening, this crime against children, and you did nothing about it, I feel like you're also guilty. Now, granted, my mom said, well, people receiving these things probably also enjoyed it, which I understand that. But I just feel like now that it's out and it's public, are they not guilty of aiding and abetting? Like, I just don't know how they can just get off scot-free, I guess.
Today's topic is a hard one to talk about because it's never a fun thing to talk about children being abused, especially by the people who they trust the most. But before we begin, Happy New Year to everybody and welcome to 2025. Now, this is the case of William and Zachary Zullock, a wealthy gay couple who adopted 2 boys and subjected them to sexual abuse. William Zullock was a government worker while Zachary Zullock was a banker, and their case had been in the courts for over a year, with the sentencing just coming recently. So shortly after Zachary and William got married, they adopted 2 boys in 2018 who reportedly are also brothers. This couple was popularly known as gay rights activists, so they were seen as good people. And as expected, who would think that 2 people who were fighting for the rights of others would turn around and wickedly take away the rights of their adoptive children? Like, these men presented themselves as stellar individuals in the society, and the pictures William and Zachary posted of their little family online made it look like they were happy with their sons and life was generally good. Unknown to many people though, something horrible was going on behind closed doors. So in 2022, the police received an anonymous tip that somebody from the Zullock residence was engaging in the consumption of inappropriate content made with children online. So the police got a warrant and went to search the Zullock residence, where they found concrete evidence that William and Zachary were sexually abusing their 2 sons on tape. They were not only abusing these boys, but they were also pimping them out to other men who abused them as well. And they were doing this by sending inappropriate photos of them with the boys out on Snapchat as a form of advertising to get customers, in quotes. Another shocker in this case is that these men were allowed to adopt children despite Zachary having been accused of raping another boy in 2011. And the worst part is that they were allowed to adopt from a Christian agency. Like, how did this happen under the nose of Christians? And apart from this fact, I thought the adoption process is very thorough, with extensive background checks done on the parents who are seeking to adopt. So was this report about Zachary never found? Because these boys were treated so badly and were even forced to perform oral on their horrible adoptive fathers. Thankfully, William and Zachary were arrested and charged to court in 2022. Now, William Zullock was convicted on 6 counts of aggravated sodomy, 3 counts of aggravated child molestation, 2 counts of sexual exploitation of children and other sexual offenses, while Zachary Zullock was convicted on 2 counts of aggravated sodomy, 3 counts of aggravated child molestation, 2 counts of sodomy, 3 counts of sexual exploitation of children, 2 counts of pandering for a person under 18, and other sexual offenses. And I couldn't agree more with the judge, who said, and I quote, "It cannot be stressed enough how important it is for our society to have individuals willing to adopt children in need. But anyone who does so and then abuses these children deserves extremely harsh consequences and decades in prison." These 2 defendants truly created a house of horrors and put their extremely dark desires above everything and everyone else.
William Zullock, currently 33, Zachary Zullock, currently 35, allegedly used social media to prostitute their 2 elementary-aged sons. They were very well known throughout the LGBT community as LGBTQ activists in Georgia. They were even asked to be featured in a prominent LGBTQ magazine called Out. William Zullock actually worked for the government, and Zachary Zullock was a banker. As a banker with SunTrust, Glassdoor reveals that that position makes a 6-figure salary. With all the money they had from both their banking government jobs and selling their boys, they were able to even build their own mansion. There were so many red flags on their social media accounts. Of course, they would try to gaslight anyone who was suspicious of them. Pure evil knows no bounds. In August, they were arrested for all of these things here and sentenced to 9 life sentences to which they are pleading not guilty. 2 men that were their clients have been arrested on charges of soliciting and acts of prostitution. The ages of the boys are now 11 and 9. Though it's unclear that whether they had any physical interactions with the boys, they both have been arrested. The Zulaks lived in Oxford, which is a suburb in Atlanta. They adopted the children from a Christian special needs adoption agency. The boys were in 3rd and 4th grades when their adopted fathers were arrested last summer. These people are absolutely disgusting. I hope they get whatever is coming to them in prison. But there's nothing that can take away the trauma that those 2 young boys endured. It is important to spread awareness about these.
Now, Zachary and his partner were sentenced to 100 years in prison without the option of parole, and I completely support that verdict, and I don't even think it's enough for what they did to these children. They never felt any remorse at all, and they would have continued if no one had caught them. And I also think it's very important to trace all the people who these kids were pimped out to and also have them prosecuted and imprisoned, because they are also horrible people. I mean, children in the system are already facing the trauma of whatever put them there in the first place. So when they hear that they are going to be adopted and are about to have a family, there is so much hope in these young hearts that they are finally getting to have a happy and stable childhood in a stable household. So to destroy that hope and greatly add to the trauma that you're supposed to help them heal as an adoptive parent is a very wicked thing to do. These men did not need children. They only needed a cover that would enable them to be pedos without suspicion. But nothing is hidden in the eyes of God, and they were exposed. But the sad part is that this will not end here. These young boys will carry this trauma probably for the rest of their lives. They may never recover from it, and it will be extremely difficult for them to trust anybody again. Adoption agencies need to do better also, and somebody from that agency where these boys were adopted from needs to bear the brunt of this gross negligence on their part. Although the agency is reportedly no longer functioning, nevertheless, they failed these boys by giving them to the wrong people, because there was already evidence that these men were bad news, yet they allowed them adopt 2 children. I'm happy that these pedos are getting the punishment due to them, but I feel bad for the kids. And this is not a good look for the gay community as well. I have my own reservations about homosexuality as a Christian, but this makes it even worse. There are already arguments that gay people should not be allowed to adopt because of the obvious absence of both gender parents. Now, looking at this case of a gay couple adopting boys only to end up abusing them calls into question whether gay people should be allowed to raise children who are the same gender as they are. But I'll leave that question open to you guys to give your opinions in the comments. But whatever your arguments though, please do it respectfully. And that's the end of today's video. Hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn your notifications on if you like what I talk about on this commentary channel and you want to see more of my videos. Until I come your way again, take care and bye-bye.